ganda yung practice siya. Kahit ako ba na ko ito, mga hayop ba ito, mga tanong. Ginaw na ko sa paborito radio station Discovery Channel. Radio guys.
Yes, to all my fellow listeners who are going to be scientists, doctors, or chemists in the future. Good morning sa inyong tanan. We're here na naman sa atong radio program, Discovering Science. Right now, we're going to tackle about proteins. Proteins are the polymer of amino acids. Some of these amino acids are glycine, proline, cysteine, histidine, lysine, threonine, tyrosine, and more. These proteins are very important. They all exist in all living matter and present in all fluids of the body except urine and bile. They both exist in plants and animals. However, plant sources contain very little protein than animal sources. These proteins are the major structural substances of skin, blood, muscle, hair, and other tissues of the body. Some proteins, like antibodies, help resist the effects of foreign substances that enter the body. So mga listeners, did you know that proteins are classified according to its composition? First is, proteins are classified according to solubility. Globular proteins are soluble in water or salt solution. These proteins usually serve mobile or dynamic functions in a living organism. Some examples are the albumins in blood, carriers of some molecules that otherwise would not be soluble in blood. The ovalbumin in egg white and lactalbumin in milk. Globulins occur in blood serum and are part of the body's defense against infectious disease. Another classification of proteins are the insoluble in water, which are the fibrous protein. They contain polypeptide chains arranged in extended parallel layers or sheet-like structures. They usually have connective, structural, or protective functions. Examples are the collagens, elastins, myosins, and keratins that are found in muscles, ligaments, arteries, hair, nails, and hooves. Another classification of protein is according to its composition. These are the conjugated proteins, which are proteins that made up of amino acids and non-amino acid unit called prosthetic group. Under these, we have glycoprotein prosthetic group, a carbohydrate, heparin, which inhibits the clotting of blood, and mucin, a component of saliva, are both glycoproteins. Nucleoproteins are proteins combined with nucleic acids in ribosomes and some viruses. Examples are proteins and histones. Phosphoproteins contains phosphate esters, vitellin of egg yolk, and casein of milk are examples. Chromoprotein when the prosthetic group is colored. Example is the red pigment hem occurs in the hemoglobin of the blood. Lastly, lipoproteins are proteins containing lipid molecules. And the last classification of protein is according to protein functions. Structural proteins provide mechanical support in human connective tissues and bones. Contractile proteins are responsible for coordination of motion, like the sperm. Transport protein is responsible for carrying and circulating molecules around the body. Example of these transport proteins is the serum albumin, which carries fatty acids between adipose tissue and other tissues. The next one is the enzymes, which are responsible for chemical reaction to sustain life. The next one is the protein hormones, which are chemical messengers produced in the endocrine gland. Protection protein comprises the antibodies and blood clotting proteins. These antibodies provide the body protection from foreign invaders. The last one is the storage protein, which stores small molecules or ions. Alright, fellow listeners, I hope you all learned something about proteins, but our program doesn't end here, mga friends. We still have more to go about proteins, so wait lang mo diha after these reminders.
Oh, I really love Discovery Radio. You can really learn a lot from this session. Now, it tells me about proteins.
Yes, we're back again in Discovery Science. Grabe jud ka-importante ang protein sa structure sa atong body as well as how our body functions. The next part we're going to tackle about protein are the two properties, the physical and chemical properties of protein. For physical properties, protein form typical milky colloidal solutions. Proteins are non-dialysable. This means that they don't pass through a membrane. Proteins also absorb water since they are hydrophilic colloids. Proteins acquire negative charge in alkaline or neutral solutions and a positive charge in acid solutions. For chemical properties of protein, they coagulate and precipitate through heat, mineral acids, salts of heavy metals, neutral salts, alcohol, and alkaloidal reagents. They also go through hydrolysis with the use of acids, alkalis, and enzymes. Proteins also produce different color reactions. In BioChem test, a positive reaction of protein produces rose pink to violet coloration. In Molly's test, a violet ring develops at the junction of the liquid layers if glycoprotein is present. In sulfur test, a positive reaction produces black precipitate. Okay folks, I hope you guys learned something about proteins. So until next time folks, we'll talk about lipids. Once again, this is DJ Enric in Discovery Radio. Until next time folks.
Yeah, I can't wait to learn about